My mom is an influencer and I hate her for it. The author of the post is listed in the description. My mom, F45, has become a Facebook influencer. I, F16, used to not care when she took photos, but it's gotten crazy. Everything she does is now posted or live streamed online. Even if somewhere says don't photograph or film, she'd find a way to film it. It was annoying at first, but now it's downright frustrating, especially since 3 months ago when she got really into it. I also completely understand the irony of me posting this on Reddit, but I just need someone to hear me out. I declined my 16th birthday party, so she threw a giant party claiming it was for her anniversary, my brother's graduation, and my birthday. There were 150 guests, and between my dad, my brother, and myself, we only covered 30 of them. I don't even know how much of that party she wasn't on her screen for, since she was constantly filming and uploading it, along with a lot of her friends. I really wanted to perform there. I practiced for months, but the idea of her filming and uploading it made me so nervous I backed down. I don't like being photographed or filmed. Even as a kid, I didn't. Another time, we went on vacation, and every second it was filmed. When we got to a hotel, we weren't allowed in until she recorded the room, even if we just drove for 8 hours and wanted to sleep. She'd take her time in areas she could photograph, even if it was a rock, actual thing. But when me, my dad, and brother tried to enjoy a non-aesthetic place, I felt rushed, like she wanted to just go. If we got food, she didn't let us eat or move the food until photos and videos were taken, even having us pose with the food or announce what it is. That one annoyed me. One time we traveled by car and it was over 10 hours since we ate. When we got a chance to eat dinner, she took my food before I got a chance and was recording it, saying things like, "Ooh, how delicious." And I was so tired and hungry, I just gave up and started tearing up. On the vacation when we went on a boat, but she was live streaming, she was calling out followers, thanking them and saying how much she loved them all. The boat was going to check out Alcatraz, and I thought it was so disrespectful, especially because it was a public area and not everyone wants to be filmed. And also, the history of the island makes me feel that it needs to be respected and not treated as a background to a video. One thing that made me want to write this post was because I was trying to get a drink out of the soda machine. She had me pour out the ice from the cup so she could record me doing it for a shot. I have a certain ice-to-soda ratio I like, and it was perfect the first time. After that, I didn't get it correct, and it was just a damper on an already not-so-great day. After that, she held up my soda and was showing it off to the camera, and I had to just wait until she was done. Another thing is I've started to envy her followers. She gives them so much more attention than me. She goes off on my dad about how much closer I am with him than her. But I asked to watch a movie with her, and she declines. Her reasoning is always that she has a live stream later she's hosting, or a video to film, or her followers are live. She's turned me down so many times I stopped even trying to hang out with her, since if I do get her around, she's on her phone. One time I asked for her opinion and she snapped that she was tired from her job and that she needed time to post. She live streams so much that I sometimes have to skip meals because she can't have the background noise, and she live streams in the middle of the kitchen. She's live streams for hours, and if she had any issue with the internet, she makes everyone power down their devices so she can get a better connection. The most attention she's given me recently was recorded. I was in a dance class, and the only time she looked at me was when she was recording what I was doing. The instructor praised me to them for my work multiple times, and she didn't even notice. I checked, and she was watching a live stream. I feel like I'm going crazy. When she posts about me, I feel exposed, like I have no control. My dad keeps saying she views the world through lens, and I have no clue if this is how parents are nowadays, but it's terrible. I'm so sorry if anyone else has to grow up like this. Relevant comments, additional info. Oop on what her dad thinks. Comment 1. My dad isn't pleased. He's told me he's gotten into arguments with how much she films. I got to see a show I wanted to for a while, and he brought her to the city, handed her her train ticket back, and went to see it with only me and my brother. He wants her to have a hobby, but he agrees it's a bit excessive. Comment 2. My dad's been arguing against her in this. He's always been a mediator between us and her, and if I want or need something from her and she isn't responding fairly, he steps in. When she's live streaming and wants quiet, he's popping in, or living life normally making noise like most people do at home. For what he's concerned, her hobby shouldn't have an impact on his day. Comment 3. My dad has been encouraging me as of recently to ignore her. He's arguing against how extreme her vlogging has gotten. And I know how much trouble I'm in since my house and town is shown and listed in her Facebook. Also, the copyright has been getting her recently, and seeing her get upset at videos being struck has been my gold. She's brought up how doctors were telling her to abort me, but she pressed on, and I'm her sunshine baby. Unfortunately, she's against therapy. I asked to go due to witnessing a traumatic event, and it ended with her crying. Oop on if her mom does MLM. Comment 1, she used to work for one actually. It was one of those all-natural little bit of everything brands. I told her it was an MLM and what exactly a MLM was, and she didn't appreciate the comment much. Her thing currently is buying boxes of bags and jewelry and reselling it along with being an influencer. Comment 2, the MLM was when I was in elementary and she used her own money for it. My dad paid for everything else like utilities. I still can taste the protein powders if I try hard enough. Oop on if she and her mom have shared interests and talking to her mom. I used to make videos and I help her with technology when she needs it. But making videos fell out of my hobbies a while ago. Even if I make the occasional thing, I tend to keep it in my draft and maybe show her if she wants to see it. I don't send her things since I never find out where it goes after minus the fact she shared it. I mean, if she asks for me to send it, I just say sure, and she forgets about it. I haven't told her over how frustrated it makes me. I really don't throw around the word mad or hate because it usually feels strong for me. But based on some of the other comments, I understand talking to her is something I need to do. Update. A few weeks after the original post, I did try to sit her down. I started to explain to her I didn't want to be posted or predominantly featured in her account, minus maybe family photos or major events. I do understand that Facebook is important to her and I wouldn't want to stop her. I just wanted to feel more acknowledged by her as a person, not another character to live, stream, or post. She called me ungrateful, that she employs herself to have 2 jobs to support my wants and she works so hard for me. Her original job is being employed by my father. He pays all the bills and covers everything. The money she earns is partially for spending. She still uses his credit card and to pay off debts. She counts Facebook as her second job between all the time it takes. According to my dad, it's under minimum wage. He recently started bringing up the fact she's on Facebook during her work, and it's impacting how much she gets done in the day. She yelled at me for over 30 minutes and ended with her crying and ordering me away. As not good as it looks, most sit-downs end up this way. I asked to go to therapy before, and it had a similar ending. For a while, she slowed down on photographing food. This was because of my dad telling her to stop, that most of it's not worth it and it was getting annoying. When we are eating at a restaurant, she takes photos of her own food while making comments how we won't support her by taking photos of our meals and being upset and dramatic over. The habit started picking back up of taking food photos, so I started to get dishes that look as unappealing. Side of fries, salad of just mixed greens, etc., just so it's not photographed. She still posts often, and I saw someone comment about doxing, but her page has my town posted along with photos of my house. When she leaves for a trip, she posts when she leaves and where she is in the moment. My dad heavily disapproves and thinks it should be posted after we return. It terrifies me just that much is online about me. When she leaves just me and my brother alone, I become scared that someone could easily break in. My brother also started becoming bothered by her. On a trip, she posted a video of my brother sleeping, which his friends ended up finding. That started ticking him off until he started talking about, even though he's fine with filming, it's the in excess getting to him. He's always been closer to her than I have, and I just hope it doesn't affect their future relationship any more than it already has. I found posts on TikTok and YouTube reading out the post, and I wanted to address a few frequent comments. The most frequent one being that people wouldn't be able to handle it, and they would toss the phone or try and sabotage one way or another. I appreciate the comments, and I got a good laugh out of some of them. But the harsher truth is being in the situation. Retaliation is a lot harder, especially since I would be put under an unsavory limelight. Along with the fact she carries around 2 phones, destroying one would do little to nothing while getting me in trouble with both parents. Another one being divorce. My parents can communicate, and divorce is something they both don't want. My dad encourages me to ignore my mom's antics, and we both know she loves me and is trying to be a parent, which is a difficult task with little to no instructions. My mom isn't from where I'm from. For all I know, it could be a good outlet for her and keeps her connected with her home country and people from where she's from. Finally, I'd want to thank the people who said I was patient, but I really am not. I'm just used to it. When it's how you grow up, you don't think about it as much, even if it bothers you. Giving into her lifestyle is a habit, and I plan on living by just trying to stay under the radar. Okay, next story. My partner's family financial situation is hard for me to swallow. I love my partner very much. We were planning to get married this year. I don't believe that is feasible anymore. Their family recently hit a major financial crisis. They were originally quite wealthy and are used to a high standard of living, so this was a big shock to all of them. My partner is now the sole breadwinner. I am all for them supporting their family through this, and I would love to be there for my partner, but I am having a hard time agreeing with some of their choices. For example, my partner would rather sacrifice all of his assets and money than have his family downsize theirs. I feel as though they should sell their mansion and many luxury cars that have a high cost of upkeep to something more affordable. The profits would help them get by for a while too. I can't bring myself to say this to my partner because I don't want to seem unsupportive. All of this makes me very, very sad for our future. I know it sounds selfish and shallow, but I was looking forward to having a good life with my partner. Now I feel like I either have to put that life on hold for the unforeseeable future. We don't know how long it will take for the financial crisis to resolve. It might never, and they might be financially dependent of my partner for a while. Or be the one to finance everything, which is not the life I want. Sure, for a few months, a year, I could pay for all our dates and trips just so that we could still enjoy our life. But then what? Will I truly be able to say that I don't mind giving up on the life that I want just so that someone else can live theirs? I don't know. Maybe I'm a bad partner for saying all of this, but for now, I'll keep this secret on Reddit and go greet my partner with a smile, because I love them, and they're a really good person, even if this time I have to shoulder the cost of them being a good person. Relevant comments before update. Commenter: you are not a bad person for deciding one way or another now. You might not be a great person if you know this is not what you want and still go through with it and then leave down the line. I know you said you might be able to pay for dates for a few months or so, but I'm wondering what else you would bring to the table financially, or were you just looking forward to your partner bringing in the biggest part of the cake? Answer: I make more money than my partner and have always contributed more. I bought my studio apartment, so I pay for the mortgage. They don't currently live with me because of work, but my apartment will basically be our starter home. We were both starting to save for the wedding and a bigger home together, but they've already given their half of the savings to their family. So now all we'll have is my contributions, so it's not like I'm not giving. It's just that now my partner won't be able to. But I don't think I'm disappointed because they won't be able to afford the big things, because those are easier to tackle. Can't afford a wedding? Postpone it. But I think what hurts is knowing that because they're on money-saving mode, they don't have money to waste on silly things like nice meals or fun activities that we wanted to do. So I would either have to adapt my lifestyle or be the one to finance it, which is fine for now, but undesirable long-term, as it basically makes me the sole breadwinner of a two-income household. Commenter: it sounds like his family and you two should try to reduce costs of living to improve your financial situations. Please talk with your fiancé about this. Enabling their spending habits won't help in the long run if they aren't able to recover their wealth. Everyone has to learn to live within their means. Answer: thank you. I'll give them time to process everything before I try to talk to them. I don't want them to feel like I don't support them helping their family. Update. A few days ago, I made a post on how my partner was making bad decisions on their finances to support their family's very privileged lifestyle. I have since talked to them, and I'm glad I did. Turns out my partner didn't really want to do a lot of it, but their parents have been pressuring them, hounding them every day, attempting to guilt them through crying jags on the phone so that they would take out a $100K loan on their behalf. They can't take out the loan themselves because the dad hasn't worked in 20 years and the mom has not worked her whole life. They've been living off of investments that they lucked out on, but has since caused them issues. My partner has a sister who doesn't work and isn't in college. Granted, half of the reason is that she was recovering from a skin condition, but the other half is that college isn't too much of a priority for her. I'm so pissed at these people. My partner hasn't been eating much beyond instant noodles and week-old leftovers while their family still has enough money for groceries and proper meals. Like, that's so F it up. Your child is starving themselves to support your privileged ass who cannot accept that most people have to work for a living. Your child is working their ass off for their living. How could you do that to your child? Like get a job, sell your luxury items, sell your cars, your multi-million house. Not go on that overseas trip for the mom's birthday when you knew your savings was running out? How could you ask your child to sell their car, take out a loan for you, unless it was the absolute last resort? How could you guilt trip them this way? What shitty, selfish parents. The house has too many emotional attachments? The dad's ego would be bruised from feeling like he's taking back the things he gave his family. Ha ha ha, this family is so unhinged. Sure, they're nice people. But how nice can you be if you would do this to your child? I am so pissed. I've been buying my partner food, treating them to nice meals, buying them flowers when they are with me so that they still get to enjoy their life and have moments of happiness. I am happy to do this for my partner, but fuck the family for putting both me and my partner in this position. Relevant comments. Commenter. What's the long-term plan here? How are you going to save for retirement? How are you going to save for children, if you decide to have them? For a house? For unexpected medical bills? I know it's a cliche, but you don't have just an in-law problem. You have an SO problem. This isn't sustainable. Answer: honestly, I don't know. My partner has been in a bad state since shiz hit the fan, so I've been focusing on short-term and just making sure they're okay. Medium long-term wise, I know I'll be fine. I make decent income, I own my apartment, still on mortgage though, and I don't plan on getting pregos anytime soon. I have an IUD, so low chance of any accidents as well. We both have pretty comprehensive insurance from work. Basically, we would survive. But it wouldn't be the life we worked hard for and deserve and can afford if it wasn't for this. I hate them for trying to rob us off that life. Commenter. Hey, OP, what are you gonna do once you get married and your SO drains your money to give it to your ILs? Speaking from experience, that will inevitably happen since you're ignoring his enabling behavior. There's something you need to understand. Your ILs are at fault, but the one robbing you off that life is your SO. Answer. First of all, thank you for your comment. I took a few days to think about it. I don't think I will marry him until this specific matter is resolved. And even if it does, and we get married, I will insist on a prenup and ensure that my finances and our collective finances will not be at the mercy of his family. Commenter. You don't want to hear this, but you need to divorce him. He took a massive loan out which they will never pay back, and that is going to fall onto you. You need to protect yourself. Your partner has no business dragging you into this nonsense and making you partially liable for whatever fuck-ups they get into. If something happens to him, then you still owe the debt. Look into legal options. Answer. He has not taken out the loan yet. He does not want to. This has been his standing ground with his parents over the past few days. I don't know if he will eventually cave or if he will stand up to his parents and put an end to this. But I reckon this will be the point that determines the rest of the outcome. I refuse to marry him if the loan exists. If he ends up taking out the loan, it will need to be paid off prior to marriage. But even given that, I don't know if I can forgive and still marry him, knowing that what could have been our savings went into paying the loan instead. I think marriage would only still be on the table if the loan was paid off by his family, or if they reimbursed him for the amount. Either way, resolved or not, a prenup is definitely mandatory for me now. Even before everything happened, I wanted one. But now it's non-negotiable. How do you like these stories? Write your opinion in the comments. Let's get 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Love you.